Early today, members of the discipline services and school children participated in a parade along Main Street, New Amsterdam, which culminated at State House, where a flag-raising ceremony was held to commemorate Guyana's 50th independence anniversary. More from Shanice Beckles.
Come on, Kenroy, raise those hands.
The town of New Amsterdam came alive today as members of the disciplinary services and students of various schools gathered for a parade led by the Kafona drummers, which commenced at Philadelphia Street and concluded on the lawns of State House to be a part of Guyana's Jubilee celebrations in Region 6. The activity was organized by the Region 6 Jubilee Committee and saw the attendance of the Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Moses Nagamutu, and his wife, Madam Sita Nagamutu, Mayor of New Amsterdam, Mr. Kurt Winter, and Regional Chairman, Mr. David Armagon, among other officials. Taking the podium first to deliver his remarks was Mayor Kurt Winter.
50 years ago today, something happened to a former British colony on the northeastern shoulder of the South American continent. The spark of freedom was lit. A flame kindled and burned with the desires and hopes of a new nation emerging from the clutches of colonialism. From the French to the Dutch through to British control, G-U-I-A-N-A, Guyana, as it was then named, was always a land of people yearning for self-rule. At that time in the region, independence and freedom were rare expectations. This nation, our country, our Guyana, became an independent country on Thursday, the 26th of May, 1966. Exactly 50 years to the day. And Ms. Gloria Bihari, I think you peep a part of my speech here. Where's Ms. Gloria Bihari? True to Guyanese form, the celebration of this moment lasted for quite some time. The newly independent citizens of a free Guyana began their celebrations 4 days before and continued through to the 29th day of May, a full week of independence celebration.
Regional Chairman Mr. David Armagon then made his remarks to the gathering of students and members of the public.
50 years ago, the Union Jack was lowered and the golden arrowhead was hoisted to herald the birth as a sovereign nation after almost 150 years, or a little bit more than 150 years of British rule. A huge crowd, estimated in the thousands, gathered at the National Park with delight and patriotic pride as the new five-colored flag fluttered for the first time over a free country. There were fireworks, ceremony and pageantry, with street dancing and much partying. No doubt, today and tomorrow, 50 years after, we will see a repeat of this celebration. But I believe it is important and necessary for our people, especially our youths who are here, to use this significant event not only to party and dance, but also to review our history and recognize those who are responsible for shaping our present circumstances.
The crowd was entertained by a number of cultural performances by the various schools.
Beautiful Guyana, oh, beautiful Guyana, oh, beautiful Guyana, oh, beautiful Guyana, Guyana nice.
Beautiful Guyana. Beauty stretches this greeny land, blessed of sunshine, covered the sun. A country anybody would love to see. A land of many waters will always be.
Regional Executive Officer Dr. Verasamy Ramaya gave a brief biography on the Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Moses Nagamutu.
President and the Prime Minister started out at Auckland Scott School. He then went on to Rosa RHS under Mr. Rudranath, and then we merged with Comprehensive School, where he graduated and he became a teacher. But his thirst for knowledge and wisdom was unending, and he thought best that let me go in a depressed area to give poor children an opportunity to go to high school. So he went on the west coast, I believe, just over the river by the Edwards, and he started a high school. Not long after, he joined the call to free Guyana.
The feature address was then delivered by the Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Moses Nagamutu, during which he highlighted Guyana's achievements.
English, speaking Spanish, speaking French, speaking Portuguese, and possibly speaking Dutch. Because our naval strength is buried in this continent, and we have a continental destiny. So that is how we believe we're going to be reborn great. And not what we were in the past, but what we hope to become. A world first-class nation. That must be our ambition. Today, as I speak with you, all the countries that surround us are in trouble. The Brazilian president is facing impeachment, was replaced by a temporary president. Maduro in Venezuela, the conquistadores he thought he was, is shaking, and his country, his regime now is facing a meltdown. Suriname and Trinidad also are facing difficulties. Recently, the World Bank and the IMF recognized that Guyana is the only country in this part of the world that is standing solid, standing strong. And this must be our best tribute to our ancestors, the Amerindians, the indigenous peoples, African slaves and freed Africans and indentured laborers, Indian, Chinese, Portuguese, they came here as indentured laborers. West Indians and even freed blacks came as laborers, and some Europeans to work on the estates. And all their dream and hope had been to live in a country that one day can be free. The word freedom, as the young lady who recited the poem captured so emotionally, movingly, it has been on the lips of generations before us.
Guyana's national flag, the golden arrowhead, was then hoisted in all its glory. Guyana will recognize its 50th independence anniversary tomorrow. Shanice Beckles reporting for Channel 8 News.